In 1973, an extraterrestrial civilization revealed to Rael that they created all life on Earth. In the 40s, the Nobel Prize Enrico Fermi found that we should expect that the Earth was colonized by extraterrestrials. Raels' message and Fermi's concept are validating each other. It brings an extraordinary hope for humanity.
Many videos show a truncated version of the so-called Fermi Paradox. The most important element of the Fermi concept is never mentioned. In the videos and interviews with scientists, an important aspect of the Fermi Paradox is perhaps intentionally omitted. First, it is so obvious that it is not a paradox. The famous Nobel Prize winner Enrico Fermi claimed in the early 1940s that intelligent beings in the universe would spread life through the colonization of planets. Since this process is exponential, if you do the math, the universe would be full of life. But what the scientific community omits to say is that these planets, which have been terraformed, would be linked together by grandparents, parents, children. All of this in endless chains of generations from planets to planets, from solar systems into solar systems, from near to far. If at all possible, a process of theoretical chemical evolution could not compete with such a speed of propagation. Some sort of natural selection of life-spreading processes in space would eliminate chemical evolution as a viable process. Indeed, the theoretical chemical evolution process is far too slow in comparison, at least 100,000 times slower. To get an idea of the power of life propagation suggested by Fermi, this process would have spread life throughout the known universe in much less than 1,000th of the time that evolution would take to develop on a single planet. This means that life is essentially an artificial phenomenon. Contrary to what scientists claim, the Fermi's question, "Where are they?" did indeed find his answer a few years later when the UFO phenomenon began. Then, on December 13, 1973, after many years of UFO sightings, a message was given to a Frenchman by an extraterrestrial civilization stating that life on Earth was the result of a terraforming effort a long time ago. This is exactly what we would expect and totally validated Fermi's concept. This historical event did not get the adhesion of the majority because it contradicted the current scientific and philosophical ideologies. The extraterrestrials gave a mission name to this Frenchman. His name is Rael. His mission has been to prepare humanity in spreading the message given to him by the terraformers and build an embassy for them where they will land officially and meet the representatives of humanity. The mainstream community denied the UFO phenomenon because it did not fit the accepted paradigm. Indeed, scientific publications have been very selective in keeping only a single general narrative relating to theories of evolution while excluding anything that suggested that some kind of intelligence entities could be the source of life on Earth. But this situation has created a systematic bias that has blinded the scientific perception and research orientation when it comes to the Fermi concept. On the other hand, the scientific community believes that the speed of light cannot be exceeded. But in the valid case where the universe is infinite in space, there is no way to prove that the speed of light is a limit because we have very little explored the levels of the infinitely small, which are obviously infinite. Consequently, all that is unknown to the infinitely small is an indication that no definitive conclusion should be drawn at the risk of adopting, without realizing it, a dogmatic attitude. Limiting the universe has intuitively been the goal of scientists, but infinity always comes back to haunt them. Therefore, in order to avoid Fermi's logic, the scientific community denied the UFO phenomenon and coined the expression, the Fermi Paradox. Indeed, to admit that the planet is visited by an extraterrestrial civilization would challenge many scientific old paradigms. Two of these mainstream paradigms are contradicted by the revelation given to Rael by the extraterrestrial civilization that terraformed life on Earth. The terraformers stated that they have discovered that the universe is infinite in space and in time and that, consequently, there is no Big Bang and also no limit to speed. They confirmed that they can travel orders of magnitude faster than the speed of light. Their solar system is relatively very close to our own solar system, and it takes only few minutes to travel to Earth thanks to their scientific knowledge, which is 25,000 years in advance of our own. Apart from that, we have the religions which, when translated correctly, testify that the Earth was terraformed by very technologically advanced beings who came from space and created life on Earth. Statistically, the Fermi concept shows that life would be entirely an artificial phenomenon. The reason is that no life could develop by accident on a planet because, before it had time to develop, the planet would be discovered and terraformed relatively very quickly. In addition, DNA contains a very complex language that leads to the creation of life forms. So, it is basically a very advanced information system, more advanced than our scientific level on Earth. Since only intelligent beings can create information, only intelligent beings can be the source of the creation of life. If it was not us who created life on Earth, then it was beings from elsewhere, which independently validates Fermi's concept. It also supports both the reality of the message that Rael received from the terraformers and the encounter itself. So here we are in the presence of three types of evidence that confirm Fermi's concept, which, and this is very important, turns out to be extremely probable and expected from a mathematical point of view. When they came to Earth, the terraformers improved their techniques during the terraforming period. It was a kind of evolution that happened in the minds of the terraformers, not by miraculous random molecular accidents. This is also confirmed by the message given to Rael from the terraformers. Indeed, the concept that random accidents create information is actually the god of evolutionists. Random accidents can in no way create information in any meaningful way, especially when it comes to the enormous informational complexity contained in DNA. Indeed, human DNA is made of 3.5 billion program units that must have required intelligent programmers. This indicates that life is spreading as Fermi stated. Intelligent biological entities are spreading life in the universe like humans are spreading life on the continents of the planet. Religious texts have been influenced by terraformers who are scientific creators of life on Earth. According to these texts, terraformers have a human form because they created humans in their image. These texts are, in fact, traces of terraforming, and this is exactly what is expected mathematically by Fermi's concept. In the message given to Rael, the terraformers explained that they did create religions. In the Hebrew Bible, for instance, they are called Elohim, which is a plural word meaning, those who came from the sky. They literally created humans in their image. They have sent messengers or prophets throughout history to keep a trace of their work about their scientific creations so it can be understood later at the era when we can understand it. Fermi's concept and the multiple discussions about it is indicative that we have reached this period. The Elohim have stated that this period started on August 6, 1945 after a nuclear bomb exploded on Hiroshima. In the Bible, this period is referred as the Age of Apocalypse, which means the Age of the Revelation. For the first time, humanity had created a weapon capable of destroying humanity, which is something the Elohim wish we would not do. This is why they contacted Rael to reveal to humanity our real origin, hoping we would stop killing each other and make worldwide peace. The Bible and many other ancient texts mention a great flood, which was, in reality, a reset of the first terraforming. The image of the Great Flood is actually the result of a titanic bombardment that created huge craters, volcanoes, and huge tidal waves. The Elohim explained to Rael that they decided to destroy life on Earth using very powerful bombs that must have left huge craters that, since their discovery, have been misinterpreted with meteor craters. These tidal waves, in turn, covered all forms of life under tons of sediments, leading to relatively rapid fossilization and deposits of all kinds. Petrified trees crossing multiple vertical strata is proof that the sedimentation was quick. The dust ejected into the atmosphere created a nuclear winter which corresponds to the period of glaciation. The fact that we find frozen mammoths with food still in their mouths indicates how suddenly this happened. The fossils found today are wrongly dated under the paradigm of evolutionism and uniformism. Dating methods involving radioactivity did not take into account the radioactivity created by nuclear bombardment, which invalidates them. We are alive today thanks to this terraforming reset. Dinosaurs and some other species were not part of the re-establishment of life on Earth. When the terraformers put life back on Earth using cloning after the cataclysm, they did not put the dinosaurs back on Earth. This explains the sudden disappearance of the dinosaurs. But we come to a great conclusion. Since life is solely an artificial phenomenon, this implies that chains of life creations on planets cannot logically have a beginning. Therefore, the only possible universe, which would include infinite chains of creations, is an infinite universe. This logic eliminates the Big Bang theory as a valid theory. The observation that life is an artificial phenomenon necessarily implies that the universe is infinite in time. In conclusion, there is no God, no Big Bang, and no chemical or biological evolution. Instead, intelligent beings are spreading life in the infinite universe, and we are a link in endless chains of creations in the past. It will be up to our destiny to continue this chain, which will be part of the future. In their message to Rael, the Elohim creators of life on Earth have revealed that the universe is indeed infinite in space and in time. They confirmed that there is no God, no Big Bang, and no chemical or biological random evolution. They also confirmed that life is spreading in the universe via terraforming by intelligent beings. That is a vindication of Fermi's concept. The planets we will terraform will develop with beliefs in gods who created life, in memory of our contacts with them in their past. Later, they will develop scientific theories of the origin of life, attributing the origin to chemical and genetic random accidents because they will not be able to imagine what really happened. They will be in a period that we are currently experiencing, a period of cultural and scientific revolution. We have the privilege to live in this period in which, for the first time in our development, we can understand our real origin.